So this is my take on a chicken parma. I prefer to make my own schnitzels. They're easy to make, cheap, and much better, I think, than the ones that you buy at the supermarket, which are processed and cut out to the required shape. Okay, so what we've got is I'm using a chicken thigh fillet as opposed to a breast. I think that the breast dries out quicker, so I prefer to use a chicken thigh fillet. We've got one fillet per person, but I'm going to use 6 today because I want a couple of leftovers to cut up for school lunches in wraps and so on. We've got about a half a cup of flour, a couple of good pinches of rosemary, 2 eggs, 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs, 80 grams of grated cheese, and about 200 grams of our Bolognese sauce. So the first thing I'm going to do with the thigh fillets is just flatten them out, give them a bit of a bash. Now I'm just going to wipe down the board. Now all I want to do is just pat them down with the paper towel and just get rid of that moisture. Now we're just going to make a little assembly line to put together our schnitzels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rosemary into the breadcrumbs, mix that through. Just going to beat the eggs lightly. Just with a fork, just mix it up. Now we're going to assemble the schnitzels. So I coat the chicken in the flour, and now into the egg, giving it a nice coat. And then patting it down into the breadcrumbs. What I want to do is just make sure that it's all coated. And then onto a plate. When your fingers get a bit claggy, just give them a bit of a wash. Now the chicken thighs are all crumbed, we're going to put that in the fridge for 15 minutes and just let them set. Okay, so while the chicken schnitzels are in the fridge setting, what we're going to do now is prepare the veggies to go with it. We're going to have a cauliflower mash, so I've got 150 grams thereabouts of cauliflower and 1 potato per person, and I always throw in an extra one just for good luck. 2 cups of greens. Now tonight we're just using beans, peas and some broccoli. Whatever greens you've got available or any veggie will do. So with the potato, because I want to mash them, I'm just going to cut them up into small pieces. So we've got enough water in the saucepan to cover the potatoes. Now I'm just going to use a steamer for the veggies on top. So I've got the greens in and then the cauliflower, which we're going to take out at the end and mash up with the potatoes. Put them on the stove and boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending. We'll check the potatoes after about 10, make sure that they're ready. And while we're doing that, cooking those, we'll cook our schnitzels. So the chicken schnitzels are set now. They've been in the fridge for about 15 minutes. I'm going to cook them in an electric frying pan. I've got it on 7, so we're going to add in some oil. So I want a good coating at the bottom of the frying pan. Now I'm going to heat up the oil first. If you put the chicken schnitzels in while the oil's still cold, they'll get soggy and also the crumbs will stick to the bottom. So the oil's heated up, so now I'm just going to put the schnitzels in. We're going to cook them for 5 minutes on each side. Okay, so they've been in for a few minutes. Now I'm just going to turn them over. And let them cook on that side. Okay, I think the potatoes are done, so I'm just going to test them with a fork. Poke them with a fork, and if it goes through nice and smooth, then they're done. Okay, so I'm going to take them off the heat and just let them sit while we assemble the schnitzel. Okay, the schnitzels are cooked, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to turn them into Parmas. I'm going to grill them under the griller, just on low. You could do it in an oven if you wanted to, but I just prefer the griller. Okay, so we've got a spoon of our Bolognese sauce. Spread it over. You can always tell a homemade schnitzel because it's not the perfect heart shape that you'll get at the supermarket. Now I'm just going to coat some cheese over the top. Now we're just going to place them under the griller until the cheese is melted. So while they're grilling, I've drained the spuds. Now I'm just going to add the cauliflower. The butter, about a tablespoon, and about 2 tablespoons of milk. And give that a good mash through. What I love about cauliflower mash is it's a good way to get the veggies into the kids. Done. So a bit of mash, got the veggies there. And there we have a nice chicken parma with some cauli mash and greens.